All right, here we are. Christopher Cornelius on this hot and balmy heat wave we're experiencing here in St. Joseph, Missouri. The end of February. Me and Bruno out for a brisk walk. He's had a little limp lately. I think it's dew claw, along with his infection in his ear. I don't know what you think you're seeing over there, buddy. What are you seeing over there? You got a friend over there or something? We're not going over there. We're gonna go around the church and head home, okay? You got a girlfriend over here or something? All right. Well, I thought your girlfriend lived behind the house. So, you know, I haven't posted for a while. Made a video. What are you staring at, Bruno? What, dude? Come on. So, and the reason I haven't made a video is because so much has been going on in my life. We got the love of my life. You know, she broke my trust, but she didn't, and I'm not going to say why she didn't. People don't believe me anyway, so fuck it. When she says to me that it wasn't planned, then that means to me that's her way of saying she didn't want to, but she had to. Means to an end, like she says, or like she used to say. Nobody ever takes me seriously, though. I think I'm crazy, or it's in my head, or it's a manic state. But I know one thing if I know nothing, and that's the battle for good and evil, light and dark, good and bad, are very real. And have been a very soul part of every human being's reality on this planet for the last 2 million years. Whether you want to voice that opinion or not. Juicy just losing out to that darkness. Her Aunt Susie is losing out to that darkness as well. And in her little act out of spitefulness and vindictiveness, thinking she would be cool and get the upper hand against Sarah, she went above and beyond, just telling the truth about trying to get someone out of her house. She would have just told that truth, that would have been fine. But she didn't. She went and exaggerated truth and took that truth into a blatant lie, saying that I'm a thief, that Bruno is my dog, that I brought him there with me uninvited, and she lives in her room in fear of this vicious animal and the threats made by me, charging me with elderly abuse. and then wants to turn around and say to me that if I make sure Sarah is gone and me and Sarah are both moved out by the 26th, that'll all just go away. And I don't know if I talk like a country bumpkin or that. Maybe I was born on the Peter Patch last night. Maybe that's the twang in my voice. I don't know. Maybe tell me in the comments and I'll tell you what I think. But when you swear upon an affidavit, it's not something that just goes away. You're taking an oath before God that everything you're saying is the truth, so help you God. And she just flat out lied. And in those lies could be charges of abuse. And I'm not responsible of that. I'm not guilty of that. I'm not a thief. Never threatened her. And for the last 11 years on and off, I've been living there, chasing my woman there, getting high there with the owner of there, you know? And she thinks she's just gonna lie and then say, oh, don't worry. If you move out, it'll all just go away. You swore upon an affidavit. That's why the police were there the day before yesterday, because they read the affidavit and said, well, these are crimes being committed. So it doesn't matter if Aunt Susie told the detectives, oh, Chris is fine, you know, he's okay now, and they went away that day. It's not up to her now unless she goes back and says, I lied. And I'm trying to get Sarah to go with me to court, and she's refusing, saying I'm just not going to go. I'm going to bury my head in the sand. And I told her, this is our lives you're toying with. You understand me? And she's like, Chris, it'll all just go away if I don't go there. I said, I don't know who's been feeding your head full of lies and bullshit. Sure, some more talks around a glass dick named Mess, and they sit around talking about who knows the law more than the other ones. They always feed her a bunch of bullshit, make her think she knows something, get her driving 100 miles an hour towards a brick wall, telling her that it's a fucking bunch of pillows. And then she'll argue with me to high heaven to shut the fuck up. I don't know what I'm talking about. So if by the 26th of this month, which is next week, she doesn't get on the phone and call her attorney, or go down to the courthouse and speak with an attorney and say, I would like to make corrections on the affidavit that I filed last month. Come on, bud. Come on. That's the only way things said into an affidavit can be taken off an affidavit, redacted, or corrected. And she's telling me that I want something for nothing. This is Aunt Susie, and that for me just to shut up and be quiet, don't go to court, and make sure I move out and everything will be okay and everything will just get dropped. But she didn't file a habeas corpus. She didn't file a what's it called, the detainer, and then she didn't file for an unlawful detainer. She hasn't filed for non-squatters' rights and stuff. She hasn't done any of this. She has only went and filed an affidavit stating elderly abuse, threats, and thievery going on at her premises. She's an elderly old woman that just wants to live in peace and scared for her life, living in fear, locked in her bedroom. And I've told her, Susie, I have paperwork from the Department of Corrections in 2017 that you signed stating it was okay for an employee of the Department of Corrections to come to your house and make an inspection, making sure it was okay for Christopher Robert Cornelius, DOC number 1174411, to parole out of prison to your residence. But then in the affidavit, she's going to state that I just showed up over here in the last year or so with my dog, uninvited. You know, I saw what kind of woman she was when I first met her 11 years ago. And that's why I covered my ass then. And if she doesn't do the right thing and come forward and say she would like to make a correction on her affidavit, then I will be forced to file an affidavit myself or go and show attorneys, judges, detectives, and anybody else that wants to watch videos of her, getting high, smoking drugs with her friends / attendants off and on for years, her sending texts talking about how not to cry and don't worry, she'll make sure that Sarah gets thrown out and not me. If I just do this, and that for her. And I've got videos of her feeding this scary dog that she's in fear of her life for. I've got her feeding him, giving him treats, and talking to him like a baby, like everybody talks to their fucking dog. I've also got videos of, Bruno barking at her when she's screaming at the top of her lungs. The worst things you've ever heard a 70-year-old woman say in your life. Make you puke. I made sure to take video of all these things, showing all sides, not just one side. If she just wants to file an affidavit stating that she asked two people staying at her house to leave repeatedly and they didn't leave, that's okay, because that's truth. I'm homeless. I have nowhere to go. It's the middle of winter. I'm not trying to die on the streets. I told her, you want to file the proper paperwork and kick me out, then I'll leave unprotested. She didn't do that. Instead, she filed an affidavit and didn't even have to have it delivered the way she did, but went ahead and had her cousin or family member come with a social worker and have her delivered to Sarah, giggling the whole time, which is wrong. It's wrong. It's unprofessional and unethical. And then turn around and lie to me and say, if I just get Sarah out of the house and I leave too, all the stuff is gone by the 26th, everything will just be dropped and forgotten about. I just need to shut my fucking mouth and not worry so much, and everything will be okay. Yeah, I'm a white guy, and sometimes I look funny, sometimes I dress funny. Sometimes I got a funny way of looking at things and interpreting things. I got a human brain like anybody else. I've studied law like anybody else can study law. I was taught how to read at a very young age, and that's all it takes is a basic understanding of the written human language. I ain't no rat. I ain't no blackmailer. I don't do nefarious things to try and bring people down, hurt someone physically or mentally, because it's just wrong to do. Lying is wrong. Lying is wrong. Getting someone into criminal trouble through a lie is wrong. And unless she sucks it up and admits that she done wrong, then nothing she ever says again to anyone will ever be taken seriously. Because I will have had to have shown people who in the future might be taking written statements from her again, or affidavits. Someone might be taking her statements under oath. That's ruining it for them in the future, and ruining any word that she might ever have again. But that's something we all face as human beings on this planet. When it comes down to it, we're all mad at each other. You fucked my sister, and I fucked your brother, or whatever, you know. Whatever the age-old human saying is. But in the end, when it comes down to it, and you have the choice to choose, do I cause pain and make a mistake by choosing pain on someone that doesn't deserve it because it's not true? Or do I let the anger inside of me take over? And do I rule a choice and a decision on a human emotion? That's wrong. You don't make decisions and choices of other people's entire lives. Especially if you have to lie to make those choices and decisions. Anyway, I know I say the same thing over and over and ramble. I got some really good Aloha Limon from the dispensary from Vertical here in St. Joseph. They treat me really well, and treat me really well right there at Vertical. You know, went in the first time and told them about my mental health, about my addictions in the past, and where I want to be, you know, in a year from now, 5 years from now, mentally, socially. And you know, they typed everything into an AI algorithm that spit back out the best strains of marijuana for me to smoke, you know, it would be best for my psyche, my mental state. And you know what? They haven't been wrong one time, not once. You know, the coffee and cream hybrid was, you know, it left something to be. It left something to be talked about, I guess. But you know, it's a cheaper strain. It's like $30, 35 an eighth. That's just extremely cheap. Come on, Bruno. Come on. What are we doing? Come on. We're not gonna, you know, we do not have any doggy bags on us, so I don't want poop in somebody else's jar. Come on, buddy. Okay. Mama's been feeding that junk all night. You probably got the Hershey squirts. I hate being that guy, you know, without the fucking doggy bag. That lies to a neighbor and says, "I'll be right back with the doggy bag." He never comes back. Come on, buddy. Anyway, St. Joe, lovely time of year. Been feeling the pull a lot lately. My friends down south know exactly what I'm speaking of. Lori, Jerry. You guys all been feeling the pull. Talking to Jeremy Nestor a little bit about, times in our life when we should have taken a left and took a right instead, or when we ducked when we should have been weaving. And somehow we made it here alive. So maybe we got to celebrate that and be responsible and take charge of writing the last few chapters of our life, the way we want to write them. That way, at least we can go out with a sense of, we did it my way, and we did it our way, I've heard so many different theories. One of these theories I heard years ago, when I first met Sarah, was the version of hell was someone at the end of their life, when they've taken that first inhale of the exhale, the last breath of life, the ghost rattle, the ghost whistle, some call it, and it's the last one. And in that moment in time, for everyone out here, it's just a moment in time, a speck, a couple of seconds, maybe a minute. But for the person on the other side, it's several lifetimes worth of regret that they're thinking about. And the regret, the more you have of it during that ghost whistle, will go on for an eternity. And that is some people's never-ending hell. Bruno, come on, buddy. We have walked everywhere. We walked around the box 3 times already. Come on, bud. Come on. On one side, okay? I'm sorry. We've been out here for a while. I'm just trying to survive. Just trying to survive in Northwest Missouri. Right, Bruno? Just trying to survive. Gotta try and lay off the gambling a little bit. That's only because I'm broke. But if we want to get this RV, if we want to get this roof with wheels over our head in the next week, then we can put our noses to the grindstone, Yeah. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be hard. It's long and hard. But I feel in the end we will succeed. I will die trying to, at least. Set this up a little better, huh? Got the old dog pipe. The stem is clogged up, so I haven't been smoked straight out of the bowl. Now that is Aloha Limon. That is Vertical's signature strain. First quarter of that I bought. Upon returning, I said, "You guys are gonna run out of this, are you?" And they said, "No, this is Vertical's signature strain grown right here in St. Joseph, Missouri. Indica sativa hybrid. It just feels perfect, tastes perfect, smells perfect, is perfect. Wish Juicy would quit the paranoid juice and smoke. I miss her so much. And I know it's gonna be more painful before it feels better. But she's never gonna be mine again. Just wanted to know. I want people to tell her the truth about me, you know, that I made mistakes and sinned against her in the very beginning, but maybe too late. I promised change, and I tried to orchestrate that change. In the last 3 or 4 years have been some of the loneliest, hardest years to live. I gave up so much when I was young that I almost can't do it today. I just wanted her to know that it was okay. Again, you know, that she could tell me the truth and she could be vulnerable in front of me again, and it was okay. She says I cry too much. I probably do. I think I might be addicted to it. I hate seeing her cry. It's the most purest thing, shed tears you've ever seen in your life. It's so horrible. I love you, Juicy. And I want to punish every man that's taking advantage of you currently or ever going to take advantage of you again in the future. It's not my job, but I can't help but want to make it my job.